Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I'd like to start off every day with a hot, black, fresh cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. In my all-time favorite coffee mug that has my logo. Hold the cream! Without Kahlua, which used to be my thing. Anyway. The other thing that used to be my thing was my other favorite coffee mug, which was the quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which said, "Life is too important to be taken seriously." So let's dive into today's topic. Oh, I should mention it is Thursday, May 21st. It's about 4:30 p.m., just so you know the real time. We are still in the middle of this pandemic, so here we are. So today's topic is the world of online content creation. Specifically, there are platforms out there. The two big ones are justforfans and onlyfans. And then there's a whole host of other ones. And essentially, these are platforms where you, as the content creator, means that you film and take pictures, like provocative, sexual, sensual pictures. It could be you with someone or you by yourself. And, I've known of these two entities, and, I've always been honest about the fact that I work as a massage therapist, and, it's erotic massage, so there's always that aspect to it. So, I have friends that are on these platforms, and I never thought that it was something I would want to do, because I've always been like an in-person kind of worker, whereas, this is definitely much more of like the virtual world, and which was, never really my thing, but in light of the fact that we are in the times that we are in, it kind of made sense. So I decided to kind of like go for it and do it. So it's been interesting because I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Like I said, I'm used to doing the in-person thing. So the whole concept of like, taking provocative pictures or like filming videos, to then like, have people subscribe or follow you and, pay to see these pictures, or beginning with the fact that like with guys that do this, men who view other men's content, let me keep it real here. What they're looking for is like, actual sex. They want to see you like engaged in, getting fucked or fucking or, fellatio, as it were. And because I don't have, I never thought to like film all of the times that I've done that, which has been a lot, mind you. But, I had decided even right before the pandemic hit, I knew of this, and a friend of mine who's does it, and she's a female, she's quite successful at it, and she doesn't do the in-person thing, but she makes a good chunk of change doing it this way. I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do this. But of course, I realized that as a guy, what other guys want to pay for are seeing you with other guys. So I don't really have that content. So that handful of my friends that I have who were like interested in hooking up, I was frank and I was like, look, I want to start doing this. So yeah, we could like, get together, but how do you feel about us filming the event? And they were all cool with it. So like, I kind of had all of the wheels in motion to like do that. But then this hit. And of course, I've not been like hooking up with anyone. I've not been seeing massage clients. So I've been pretty much not with anyone for 2.5 months, going on 3 months. And so it was right at that point that I had thought that I would want to do this. So I almost feel like I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. But you know what? I thought to myself, I want to go ahead and try this anyway, because it's something that is completely out of my comfort level. It's not anything that I would have ever thought to do, and even though I was thinking about it, but, I sat on it, like, I knew about it and I had all the information and I did nothing with it for months. And then just when I decided, all right, let me like set up one of them, and kind of see how it goes. And all of a sudden this happened and I was like, shit, now I'm really screwed, no pun intended, because I don't have any clips or anything where I'm with someone. So Yeah, and I know like women in this field, in my humble opinion, have it a little easier in that they don't have to necessarily be with anyone. They could just, men will pay to see female content where, she might be like playing with her clitoris or vagina or like, topless or like, provocatively with the finger in the mouth and playing with the nipples or any kind of foreplay-ish things like that. But guys who are going to pay to see guys' content, by and large, they want to see like the hardcore shit. And I don't have any of that on film anyway. I've done it, and now it's not like I could hook up with anyone to film it. So then I had the decision to make, it's like, well, how much should I like do this anyway? And because, how well am I going to do with it if I don't really necessarily have what the people would be looking for as the norm anyway. So I kind of decided to bite the bullet, and apart from the fact that it's totally outside of my comfort level, like I said before, I just kind of thought, you know what, I want to see like how creative can I be and like what can I come up with in terms of like filming videos or taking, pictures, provocative pictures, or, and where I'm alone and how creative can I be. So I have been, it's been interesting. It's been a lot of fun actually, like coming up with the different scenarios that I've come up with. And I've joined a whole handful of different platforms. And, so now I'm putting this stuff out there. And, then of course, like, one thing is setting it all up, which the setup for each one takes a lot of time. But, once you have that said and done, then it's a matter of like marketing. And then, of course, you market it and you want to hope that people will follow you or subscribe. And, fortunately for me, the whole thing is that whether like, it blows up and I get a ton of followers and subscribers, or if it doesn't, like, I'm okay. I'm not necessarily counting on it. So that was the other thing. I'm like, okay, so really, like, if that's not even really something that I'm that concerned with, then why exactly am I doing it? And I got to tell you, the simple answer to that question is because it is something that is not anything that I would ordinarily do. It was really me. It's been me, like, pushing myself to try something different. I know in other videos I've spoken about like reinventing yourself or like, thinking outside of the box. This is definitely thinking outside of the box for me. And so I'm having fun with the actual creating the scenarios and filming it. It's kind of like filming these YouTube channels, but these YouTube videos, except that, I'm not necessarily wearing clothing when I'm doing those, and it's a totally different setup. But, my level of comfort in front of the camera is obviously there. I guess it's more so like my level of comfort of doing that kind of work in front of the camera, especially alone, and having to think outside the box and really kind of thinking like, well, maybe I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. But me, I always like to like look at the flip side to things and look at the positive light on everything. So my positive spin on it is that I don't really care, like, if I get 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers, or one or none. What I'm loving about it for me is that I'm forcing myself to do something that that isn't necessarily all that comfortable for me. And, so that to me means more than anything. And, like I said, the big ones, Just for Fans, OnlyFans. So, I'm on those two. And then like other ones, like, iwantclips, chaturbate, Sky Private, there's a whole world of, provocative, sensual, sexual things you could do, virtually speaking, where you're not, necessarily with anyone. Unless, of course, if your videos have that, but mine don't. So, I'm pretty much starting from like square one. I don't know, like, once things are kind of back to quasi-normal and I could, start seeing my massage clients again, like how much am I going to care about that? But for now, I'm not seeing clients. And actually, they were like, apart from the fact that I have this friend who does it, really the final push that that I needed to do it was a handful of my clients who were like, oh, well, I want to see you. And then a couple of them mentioned these platforms, and they were like, did you ever think of maybe doing that so that I could see you, or, so that people could see me? So I was like, oh, funny you would mention that, because I was thinking about it, but I don't know if I would have ever even gone through with this if not for the fact that we are all in the situation that we are in. But I thought, what? Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? So I'm having fun with the creative aspect of it, and the end result is, however, like I said, however well I do with it or don't do with it. For me, how I'm measuring the success of doing this is the mere fact that I've done it, and I'm making myself do something that is so foreign to me and not really, my level of comfort. So the world of online content creation, who knew? So check it out. Check me out. I'm going to, in the body of this, I'm going to put a web address where you can go to and you can see all of my different platforms that I'm at. This is one web address that if you go to has the links to all of the different things. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Please stay safe, stay healthy. Seize this opportunity to challenge yourself and do something that you ordinarily wouldn't do, even if you're not going to do anything with it other than just for yourself. These videos that I'm doing, I'm loving that I'm doing it just because I'm like, oh, that was kind of fun. And, that was different for me. So I'm going to keep on thinking outside of the box. And even just in terms of the content that I'm creating, that I'm coming up with, is, that in itself is reason enough for me to do this, even if no one sees it. So there you have it. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, set your notifications, thumbs up, and stay safe and healthy. Until the next time, love you.